Yo, 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 yo. What is up, my fellow mobile gamers? In today's video, we got our
best beginner's guide
for the brand new mobile game Limbus Company. Like and subscribe for more amazing mobile game content. This game is overly complicated for absolutely no reason. First thing I want to go over is the stamina, and then we're going to jump into team building and also gameplay and stuff like that. There's just so much stuff to this game. So we have our stamina and stuff in this bottom corner right here. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click on it. All right, so this is called whatever the hell you say. This is your stamina. We have a maximum currently of 66. You'll notice it says 64 out of 66. So we can go ahead and we can use our rose petals. This is the premium currency, but there is a free version and a paid version. Now, what you want to understand is the fact that there's two different staminas in this game, and you're going to use your regular stamina, this Inkambalaba, to make what's called modules. So if we go over to where it says modules, now you have to use a certain amount in order to create one of these. Now you use the modules for the special areas or the mirror dungeons aside from the story missions. So for the story missions, you're just going to use the regular stamina that you regenerate. I believe it's 1 every 5 minutes. So you have to constantly be converting your regular stamina into a module so that way you can do those mirror dungeons. Now this is important because when you first start off, you're going to have a ridiculous amount of stamina, and if you don't go ahead and immediately start converting these, you're missing out on a ton of recovery stamina. So you should always see this timer ticking to generate more stamina for you. Before we go any further, we got to give a huge shout out to LD Player for sponsoring this video. It is an emulator that lets you play mobile games on your PC, and it has amazing features, especially for gacha games. It lets you re-roll effortlessly. Check this out. Play Android games on your PC using the LD Player emulator. Smooth gameplay and stable connection with the lowest amount of RAM usage possible. Run multiple accounts at once for MMORPGs, play 2 or 3 different mobile games at the same time, and multiplayer makes re-rolling in gacha games an absolute breeze. Make sure you go ahead and you download LD Player using my affiliate link down below. So you initially have all 12 characters already unlocked. You do not have to go and summon for the characters. Instead, what you do is you summon for their identities, is what they're calling it, which is basically different versions of them. So we have our 12 sinners right here, and the different versions of them have to do with the little 0 in the top left corner. The ones that only have 1 0 are kind of referred to as 1 stars. The 2 zeros are like a 2 star, and then a 3 0 is considered a 3 star. The different versions are going to generate different resources based on the skills they have. So if we take a look at the 3 star or the 3 0 version of this character, skill 1 is a blue, and then skill 2 is a red, and you'll see next to it says X3 or X2. That's how many times it can potentially pop up, giving us a chance to activate a blue or to activate its red skill. Whereas if we go ahead and we look at just the regular 0 one, the original, this one has 2 different ones. This has a blue skill ×3 and then a purple skill ×2, because when we're going ahead and we are team building, which is again overly complicated, there's so much into it. All right, so let's go to team building now. The infinities are in the right. Now you're going to notice a bunch of different numbers. There's going to be a number in the front, and then a slash, and then a number in the back. So I'm just going to go ahead. I'm just going to deselect all of these just to make it easier. So you'll see when we don't have any selected, it's all zeros. Once we immediately select one of these center characters, you'll see some numbers pop up. Now the 3, this is going to show you that this is going to generate 3 of this blue affinity. That is going to be based on its first skill. So skill 1, you'll see striker stance X3. So this is saying that we can generate 3 of this blue resource. That's just the easiest way I'm going to try and explain it so that anyone can understand it. Then for the red, it'll show you an X2, and that is because if we take a look at skill 2, we are generating 2 of the red resource for that skill. Now, the next thing you're going to see is the fact that when we do click on one of these, we then have the slashes show up. So this is the best, easiest example to go by is the 0/3. This is how we go ahead and activate our ego, which is also what I'm just going to refer to as the character's ultimate ability. You need to have that amount of resources in order to activate their ultimate ability. That's why team building is so important, because if you just come in here and you go, bah, 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 I'm just going to take these guys. I mean, look how bad this is. You do not ever want to have slashes with a 0 and then a number. Basically, the easiest way I can put it is you always want that first number to either be equal to or higher than the second number. For the best bet, you want to have it at least equal, because if the number is over, then that's kind of wasted materials that you don't necessarily need. So you'll see we have 2 extra that we don't really need here, 2 extra for this. We need 2 greens and we don't, so that's gonna hurt us. 2/1, that's not bad. You just don't want to go over too much. Like a 7 out of 6, that's fine, or a 2 out of 2, that's perfect. We take a look over here where we have our identities, where I went over the different zeros, but ego, this is their ultimate ability. You go ahead and you click on it, it's going to tell you the cost in order to activate that character's ego. So you're gonna see we need 1 red fire and then 3 of these yellows. So that's where it comes into play for team building, because if you don't have that, you're not going to be able to activate that said ego. And you can go ahead and you can have a bunch of different egos. Other thing that I also want to mention for your skills is the fact that we have this thing called coin flips. So all of these skills literally flip a coin and it determines whether it will do more damage, do less damage, kind of just different effects can play out presented by the RNG of your coin. So for this skill, right above where it says joust, see this little icon right here? This is indicating that it is a 1 coin flip skill. There are some skills that you will see multiple coins. So that means it'll be 2 flips of a coin or 1 flip. It just kind of depends. Now, if we go into our settings and we take a look at gameplay, by default, the game has auto coin toss on. So at first instance, you wouldn't even recognize it. You wouldn't even understand it. So I'm gonna turn this off just so you can kind of see the coin flips in action and understand that they do have a huge effect on the gameplay as well. We have this other button, and if we click this, it'll show you which characters are attacking which. So the enemies are gonna attack this guy, this one's attacking this, so on and so forth. But this is our pool of resources. We have our red, our green, blue, other blue looking color, teal, purple. These all say 0 right now. We have not done any rounds yet, so we have not collected any of our resources. All you're doing is drawing lines, connecting the colors, which is the easiest way to put it. You want to match the colors to do extra damage and do extra effects. Once you go ahead and connect one of these, it will then be put into our pool of resources. And once we have enough resources, if we go ahead and we click and hold on one of our characters at the bottom, so let's click and hold on this guy, you'll see that these are the egos. We only have 1 ego activated on this character, and you'll see that it is grayed out because we do not have the amount of resources in order to activate it. So if we click on it, you'll see, cannot use this ego, please check your resources. So in order to activate this ego, we're gonna need 1 yellow, 1 of these blue ones, and 2 of these purples. And once we do have enough resources, this will then light up and no longer be grayed out, and then we'll just click it, and once we click it to activate it, it will actually put it on the checkerboard right here. And then we actually have to draw a line to it. So if you don't draw a line to it, it still will not activate the ego. Clicking on that character's portrait at the bottom will change one of their skills to a defensive skill. And now we have to draw the line to it. Once we draw the line to it, then it will activate. So let's just go ahead, bang this out. And once they go ahead and activate their ego, you're gonna see this really cool animation play out. And that is it. I hope you guys and girls enjoyed the video. Stay happy, stay safe. I'll see y'all later. Peace.